Hello, this is Elisa Kohler. Let's learn how major key signatures work and why we need them. As you can see here on the screen, I've got three different scales written, and they're all major scales. If we were to play them, you will hear they're all major scales. This one's slower because it's in the half notes that I have there. So of course I have four of them, but we're only going to focus on the first three here. And the point of a key signature is to represent a summary of all of the sharps or flats in a given major scale, which is also what we're going to call a major key, because it all focuses on the first note of the scale, the tonic. That's why this E gives us the name E major, B, B major, and so on. So what we're going to have here is a collection of different sharps and flats for each of the different scales. E major has 1, 2, 3, 4 sharps. B major has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharps. E flat major has 1, 2, 3 flats. Of course, we don't count the last one because it's the same as the first one. And the key of D major here only has 2 sharps. Now, the order of the key signature is not going to always be the same as the order of the sharps, or in the case of flats, how they show up in the scale. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to add a key signature here. I'm using Noteflight. So if I change the key signature, you can see how they all are here. And they are very neat groupings that all share a similar shape. Think of an octagon being a stop sign, or a downwards pointing triangle being a yield sign. Those shapes get your attention and show you, oh, that is what that sign means. Similarly, the shapes of the key signatures help you recognize them quickly, and it helps if they're not random and they all follow the same pattern. You'll see here with the flats, they all kind of scoot up here. Sharps kind of ski downhill in this pattern. We're going to talk about why that is in just a moment, but for now, let's just see how the key signature functions. So if I slide this out of the way and we look at our E major scale, you'll see that we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 sharps. Now, if I select the E major key signature and I click OK, those sharps in the scale are going to go away because it's going to assume that we're going to have those 4 sharps in the key signature applying to all the notes. There it goes. So here's our key signature, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp, following the order of the sharps. You may wonder, why are they in that order? Well, that's because we are following the circle of fifths order of tonic to dominant relationships, and I'll show you what that is in just a moment. But look ahead here with our key signature applying to both of these lines of music. You'll see that we have the accidentals affected where they aren't in the key signature. So there's no A sharp here. So for the scale of B major, we add the A sharp, and it just wreaks all sorts of havoc on our E flat major scale because we've got flats and we cancel out all of these sharps. So that's a complete mess. And then when we get into the D major scale here, you'll see that it's D and not D sharp. So they right away throw that natural sign in there, which we're going to have to cancel out the sharp. Now, a quick word about naturals. Naturals don't show up in a regular key signature unless they're canceling out something that is being changed. So you'll see F sharp is in the key signature here. So in our E flat major scale, there's no F sharp, so they throw that natural to cancel it out. So you won't put naturals in your regular key signature. Notes are assumed to be natural, like this E, for example, just being what they are. So you'll only use the key signatures to affect specific notes. And I'll show you how that works musically later. But for now, just take my word for it. This is how the key signature works. Now let me get out of here. We're going to get rid of our key signature, go back to the key of C major, which is a valid key, just nothing, no sharps and no flats. Okay, and then we're back to what we call the accidentals for the random sharps and flats. Now, how does a key signature actually work? Let's go into a different program here, and I'll do some hand drawing for you so you can see how this works. When we are working with a major scale here, here's our E major scale with our four sharps, and they show up here, but they're not in the order of the scale, and they're also sitting up high. If we were to draw the key signature the way that the sharps show up in the scale, it would be more like this: F sharp, G sharp, and what's the next one here? C sharp and D sharp. But that's not how the key signature works, and the reason why is actually very simple. It's because the key signature is a summary symbol of all of the sharps in the major scale. Now let me go back to our other program here, and if we try to change the key signature and we look at them all here, you'll see that they all start with F sharp, and then C sharp is next, and then G sharp is always the third one, and then D sharp is always the fourth one, and then A sharp comes in fifth. Finally, we have E sharp. And with the flat key signatures, B flat is always going to be first, followed by E flat, and then A flat. So how does this all work? Well, we are going to look at another movie next about the circle of fifths, and that will explain all of this. So for now, I'm going to get rid of this. Just remember that the order of sharps is always the same: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. And for the flat key signatures, the order of the flats as they appear is the reverse of this: B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat in your key signatures, and I'll show you that once again here. So here are the B flat. I'll go to the key with all of the flats: B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat, and then we go backwards with the sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. So this order here is important to remember, and there's a little sentence that will help you remember all of it. Father Charles goes down, and ends battle. So you can say that forward for your order of the sharps: Father Charles goes down and ends battle. And it's a nice sentence because it works reflexively if you say it backwards and change it slightly: battle ends and down goes, this time, Charles apostrophe father. And you can say that for the order of the flats. And we're going to find out in the next movie about the circle of fifths how this all works. So that's all for now. Bye-bye.